I was there last week when you fought Ish, because Ish is from Birmingham.
Yeah.
But you were busy, so you're popular, aren't you?
I think it was on that media day.
Yeah, just before your debut. You know what? Congratulations.
Thank you.
You seem to be flying through these fights. October Red, I'm here with what's been tipped as the next best thing. It's Cameron Voung. Welcome back.
Nice one. Nice to see you. Been a while. Happy to be back. I'm looking forward to April 13th and showing the levels.
Listen, it's literally like you were just out 2 weeks ago, so let's go back to that week. Ishmael Ellis, somebody that, Matchroom will call up, somebody that's been in with Dalton Smith, etc. How was that fight for you? You seem to literally dominate it from the beginning, but your words, Cameron.
Yeah, on paper it was a step up. 114, lost 7. Hasn't been stopped many times at all.
No, he hasn't.
It was seen as a step up for just being my 4th professional fight, but I think the work I've been doing in the gym and stuff like that showed. Had no problems, obviously. A couple of weeks ago, I'm straight back in camp now, getting ready for this next one. It's going to be a lively one. I'm excited.
I think one of the things that some of the fans, and if you don't know already, they underestimate is your gym is a gym that doesn't just focus on fighting, as it were, power. It focuses on IQ. I'd say the fighters that come out of your gym are very heavy on the IQ. I mean, talk to us about that. Like you said, you've not long come out of the amateurs. This is fight number 5. You're extremely active. Talk to us about the relationship you've got with your trainers and how you're developing already so quickly under them.
Yeah, I've got a great relationship with Jamie and Nige. They're like the second and third dad to us. The energy in the gym's great, but going back to what you said about the IQ, that's what boxing's all about. Hit and don't get hit. And I don't believe he'll be able to lay a glove on me April 13th. He said he thinks I'm going to come in there and have a tear up. Well, if you don't come in and have a tear up and put it on us, what are you going to do? Because you certainly can't box with that range. So if he wants to have a boxing match, come and do that.
That is extremely interesting that you say that, because I was asked how do I think this fight will go, and I said if you can get close to him, it could be interesting, but he boxes at range, so how are you going to get inside? And this is what I'm talking about that IQ. Try not to sound biased here.
Yeah, I don't think he's got anything that can phase us. On paper it's obviously a massive step up. Both were undefeated, both were putting that O on the line. I'm doing that at an early stage of my career, and it's something I don't mind doing. I want to be a great at this sport, and if I want to get to the top of the tree, getting beat off Jordan Flynn would mean I certainly would never get there, so I'll have no problems with April 13th. I'm not taking him lightly by any means. I know this is his world title shot and this is his opportunity to sort of break through, but April 13th, mark my words, he will get dealt with.
How has the pro game been for you so far? And I'm asking this because we do get these standout amateurs. Sometimes we get the Olympians, and sometimes it's like not what they expected. It's a lot more harder. We have like a varied opinion from all the fighters, but from yourself, a standout amateur, how's it been for you to that transition to pro?
I don't think the transition's been too hard. I mean, luckily for me, I only did a year and a bit as a senior amateur boxer. Obviously I had a massive year in that year, but I didn't stay for too long. I turned pro, and I feel it's good to learn these lessons early in my career. That's why I turned over a little bit earlier. At the end of the day, I want to be a world champion as an amateur, as a professional boxer, not an amateur. If I wanted to be a world champion as an amateur, I would have went on GB. I was busy doing the GB assessments. I'd completed the first one, awaiting the second one, and I got my contract from Matchroom. So I politely declined that and turned over to professional ranks, and I feel I'm a lot more suited to the pros, the style, the longer rounds, stuff like that. I feel I get better as it goes on. So I feel I've made a great decision, and everything's going well. God willing, I'll get the job done April 13th.
One thing I will say about you, because I remember I was saying how are you going to cope with the bright lights the first time we spoke, it was like, this is a different game, but you've kind of like eased in it so naturally. It's almost like you say, you hear fighters say my style's suited to the pros. It's a comment, or I'm going to showcase my skills, I've got an exciting style. You hear all these things, but it's seldom that we see the fighters actually do it. But you have showcased your skills, you have eased into the pro game, so it's almost like when you say my style was suited to the pros, you weren't lying.
No, definitely not. And these bright lights, this is what we do it for. Like I said before, I want to be a star of this sport in the future, hopefully not too distant future, and I believe I've got the skills, all the attributes. I'm not fazed by the pressure or the bright lights. I love it. If anything, put pressure on it because I perform better under pressure. So I'm excited, I'm in camp, and I'm ready to go for April 13th.
You mentioned pressure. Jordan says that at the end of the day he believes the pressure is on you because you're the one that's got, you've had the less fights, you're the one that's tipped to be the star. He's not under that much pressure as you are. I mean, your thoughts on that?
No problem. Put pressure on us. At the end of the day, realistically, I think you won't want to say it, but there is pressure on him because he's 27. He's not signed with anyone. He hasn't done anything fantastic. I think if you type his name on YouTube, I don't even think he's got a highlight reel. That's how he's got no skills. So I feel the pressure's on him, but if it's on me, it's on me. I thrive under pressure, so I look forward to it. I hope he backs up what he says, and I hope he comes to fight April 13th, and I don't want to hear no excuses after.
Under the bright lights, something that you're quite confident with doing is standing up for yourself as well. Sometimes, fighters, we see the press conferences, they're respectful. Fighters don't really have that much trash talk, but with you and him, even up on the stage, the pushing and shoving, the calling out on IFL, all of that is kind of like showing that character about yourself so early on in your career. Because, and the reason why I say this, Cameron, is you get fighters that are reserved in the beginning, and then they try and show this character later on, and people like, it's fake, you weren't doing that, he's only doing this because he's winning. But we're starting to see that come out with you so early on in your career. How important is it for you to be yourself and to show us who you are?
Yeah, it's definitely important. I'm just doing me. And then I think that little bit of needle brings me out. He's saying I'm built like an iron board. Well, I don't want to hear no complaints about you coming up 5 pounds, and if I'm skinny and small, and I don't want to hear no complaints about you're not a lightweight and this and that. So he said what he said, now he's got to stand on it, and we'll see who looks like an iron board on April 13th when he's flat on his back.
Flat on his back, I take it you are not necessarily looking for the knockout, but is that the outcome you are expecting?
Of course I would love that outcome. If it comes, it comes. But listen, I'm happy to sit and box for 10 rounds.
Yeah.
I believe that. So, like I said, I'm not going in there looking for a knockout, but if he walks onto something, he's going to look a little bit silly calling me an iron board in the press conference.
And finally, obviously your stablemate Jack's here later on. But I was there for the first fight. How do you think he's prepared? Well, not how do you think. How is he preparing for this fight? And are we expecting a good performance, a solid performance like he had last time, but this time the decision? Or is he going to literally take that matter out of the judge's hand and try and go for that stoppage? Because he knocked him down in the first one as well, didn't he?
I think Jack showing he can obviously hurt him.
Yeah.
It's hard to say whether he'll definitely get the knockout. But I believe if Jack gets him hurt and he's on unsteady legs, he'll try and get him out of there. But Jack's a true professional. He's stayed ready ever since that fight 2 years ago. He's always in the gym, he's always ready, and he's a true professional and someone that I definitely look up to in my career.
We love it. Listen, Cameron, it's an absolute pleasure. I will see you fight week. All the best. And thank you, like I said, for giving us, the British fans, like these, not 50-50 fights, but really close fights that it's like we're going to be excited to watch. Like you said, you didn't want to just be fighting, say, for example, journeyman. You want to put yourself through those tests now. So, boxing fans, to yourself, thank you.
No problem. Thank you for having us on, and see you soon.
Cheers, my dears.